Hey guys, it's Chris here, also known as Manifest from Smart Music Business, and I want to show you how to build a fan base from scratch, literally going from zero to hero. And I've released over 15 albums now. 6 of them have been on USB keys. So the first one we did was a skateboard. The wheels fell off. Then when it worked so well, we did another skateboard USB key, which was really dope. And then because I'm into rock and metal, we did this really cool guitar amp that says Manifest, not Marshall, and the head pops off. And then, of course, one of my favorites is the cross necklace. This was really dope. It says John 3:16 on the back, where it is a necklace, and it was a USB key. So cool. So I just want you to know I've been around the block, and I want to share with you what works and what doesn't, and what I would do if I was starting all over. Nothing. Okay, we've got 1 million monthly listeners now, so I hope this inspires you. Again, do not miss our upcoming challenge. Starts June 20th. Go to 10xyourfanbase.com/live challenge. I'll put the link below this video, but I hope to see you there. So if I was starting all over, and I would do this even now, and we're going to do this now, is I would do a cover song. All right, and I know a lot of people hate on covers. They don't want to do covers, but you need to know why. Why does a cover work so well? Why do you see so many artists blow up doing covers, and maybe they're not even that good, but they did a cover song? Well, it's because they covered a hit. When you cover a hit song, that puts you in such a better place of success because it's a hit song. It's already got a track record, millions of streams. People have already watched it, heard it, and you know it's a hit. So when you cover that song, whether your cover is even bad, it's already a hit-produced song. And most hits have multiple writers on there, hit producers. And so now when you sing that, it already increases your chances. Now, of course, you want to put your own spin on it, your own style, your own thing. Like if I'm going to do a cover, I'm not going to cover a rock or a metal song. I'm probably going to cover a hip-hop song, a EDM song, maybe a country song, and I'm going to do a metal or a rock cover of it. That's what we're planning to do, right? So I can do my own thing. But I've seen so many artists, like even friends of mine, do covers, and it ends up being their biggest song. And then what happens? People find the cover, and then they go and they check out the other artist's music, right? And then as soon as you have that cover song, you know exactly who to market it to. If I did a cover song of Drake, well, I'm going to market it to his fans on YouTube, on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram ads. I'll target him. If it's Adele, if it's insert whoever, Lil Wayne, Linkin Park, name your famous, artist. And then your chances of success are here, my friend. And I know you might be like, oh, I don't want to do covers. You don't have to do all covers, but at least do some. And I'm doing some this year. We're going to invest in it, and I'm really excited to see the results because we're going to really do it well, and I know it's going to blow up and really rock, and I'll definitely share the results. The second thing I recommend all artists to do is to get a feature. I've been preaching it forever, but collaborate with other people. If I'm starting at the very beginning and I'm trying to get new fans, why would I not take some of that marketing dollars and go and invest it in a feature so I tap into their fan base? We can maybe do a tour together. They can post it on their Instagram, on their TikTok, their YouTube. I'm tapping into their already existing fan base. They have already got fans. So when all of a sudden I get the referral, I get the legitimacy, like guilty by association in a good way, and they're like, oh, who did this person collaborate with? It all of a sudden makes me look way more legit. Right? What do you think Eminem did on his famous song, Without Me? And it had the very beginning of the song. It was kind of like a feature. It was like, Obi Trice, real names, no gimmicks. It's because he just signed Obi Trice. And so he wants to kind of give him notoriety and try and help blow up his record. What do you think when 50 Cent and Dre and Eminem's on the record and doing features and stuff like that, collaborating to push this artist out there? You need to think like a label and think like, okay, when I release this song, what would a label do? Well, a label is going to feature you with other artists. Why? So that it can be more successful. And you're not just tapping in to their fans, but their network. Like one of the coolest things I'm realizing when I work with other artists, I'm working with their management team, I'm working with their publicist, connections, and seeing how they do things. And they're asking me questions. Hey, Chris, we saw you do this. Who did you use for that? Who is the designer you used? Who was the radio promoter? What was the Spotify playlist? company you used, because I don't know everything. And all of a sudden I'm tapping into these relationships and I'm getting introduced to people that I would never know. And now all of a sudden I'm having this relationship and it's just a beautiful thing. And then when we release the song, both of us are pushing it. Like my last song was a 3-way collaboration. So all 3 of us were pushing it. And all 3 of us split the expenses, specifically in this one scenario. And there's so many different ways you can do features without breaking the bank. But by you doing that, you've already got an audience, an instant audience, as opposed to you taking this song where nobody's heard of. You make the song and you're trying to promote it, and it's just the song, but nobody's heard of you yet. But all of a sudden you got this person alongside of you that's already kind of famous, got a fan. It's like, oh, well, they worked with this person, and it introduces you. Let's just say you don't want to do either of those. Well, what's the next best thing, Chris? What can I do to get success, to grow my fan base from scratch? What's the best thing you can recommend? Hire a producer, a hit-making producer. If you're not going to do the cover, you're not going to spend the money to get the feature or take the time to do it, take the time to get a hit producer, someone who has produced a hit on radio, or someone who's got millions of streams on Spotify, or produced a song that has millions of streams, that has a track record. Not Joe Schmo down the street at the local studio. Not you that doesn't have a track record. Hire a producer. Early on in my career, I had worked with a bunch of different producers. Let's just say there was 3 of them. I noticed out of the 3, one of them was crushing it and was able to deliver a hit song. The songs that I would get done with this person were heads and tails above the rest. And I was like, whoa, I got to work with this person. And they weren't even charging much more, if not the same. And I was like, dang, man, like that's who I got to be. And it turns out that person, out of all 3 of them, he was the one that became the hit maker. The one that ended up producing for Justin Bieber, Magic, who produced the song Rude, that just got 1 billion streams. And I remember him blowing up before I blew up, and pricing and cost going up. And it's like, Chris, like if you want to work with me, you gotta pay this now. And it's like, I'm used to paying this. And it's like, here's the difference between a broke artist and a rich artist. And I'm talking about the mindset. A broke artist says, I can't afford that. And then they go back to where they were. A rich-minded artist says, how can I afford that? And I was in that position. I was in Eureka, Montana, sleeping at some stranger's house who brought us in because we couldn't afford a hotel. And I don't know if we were on the phone or if it was email, but it was like, babe, this is how much it's going to cost to be able to work with this producer at this level. You know, what do we do? And she's like, do it, babe. You know he brings the hits. It'll pay itself back over time for sure. And I'm so glad that my wife believed in me, and I worked with the A-level producer. And so I got a hit record that continued to sell tens and tens of thousands of albums. And it was a game changer. So don't say I can't afford that. Say, how can I afford that? How can I work with this level of artist, producer, and make it happen? Make the sacrifices, you know, so you can grow your career. I'm telling you, it's the best thing that you ever done. And by doing these things, whether it's a cover, a feature, A-list producer, right? Good producer. Do 1, 2, or do all 3. And what are we talking about here? We're talking about going from no fans to blowing it up. And maybe you've released a bunch of songs. This is for you too. Like, what's going to change? You've done it your way for this long. The definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over again. Do you want it to take another 2 years, another decade? Or do you want it to take 2 months or at the end of this year to have achieved your goal? Well, something has to change. If you want to become someone you've never been before, you need to do something you've never done before. Have you done a cover? Did you work with a good producer on it? Have you done a feature? Did you do another feature? Do another one. Do another one. And another one. Do another cover. Do another cover. Like, this isn't just a one-hit wonder here. Like, we're trying to keep swinging, and we keep swinging like Babe Ruth, right? Babe Ruth is known as the home run king. Well, he was also the strikeout king. We got to keep swinging at this, all right? Hey, I want to invite you to our next challenge, man. If you want to ask me direct questions, help you figure this out with your producer, your features, and help you plan this out, go to 10xyourfanbase.com/live challenge. The link is below this. Get a VIP ticket. 100% money back guarantee as long as you show up for the full 5 days, you got your camera turned on, and if you don't feel like you got value out of that, man, I'll refund your money because I know that you'll get 10 times more than what you paid for. And then we can build a relationship. I can check out your music, give you a Spotify profile audit, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram ads, plan out your strategy. And guess what happens when you get that VIP ticket? Not only will your questions get answered, but you're going to hear questions from other artists. And guess what? You're going to benefit from their questions. And you're going to be able to network and work with other people that are investing in their careers. So this is like full circle, man. So hey, I want to remind you that a fighter isn't someone who never fails. A fighter is someone who never quits. I believe we can trade our lives for a big dream, a small dream, or no dream. Why not trade it for a big dream?